Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. We are going to take a look at some pitching for today, the 26th of April. It is Saturday. We do have what started out as a 10-game day or main slate. We've lost one of them to weather, and then a 5-game evening slate that we'll try to take a look at if there is time remaining. I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you do play on FanDuel, I would cut my pool into a half, as you do not have to be as creative. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You are able to get the stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. And this is a first look at the pitching options on the slate. I do try to go more in-depth for the members at DFS Army. So definitely come check us out. Get all of our in-depth discussions through the website and through Discord as well. Let's just jump in now that we have a 9-game main slate here. Weather-wise, we did obviously lose this one already. Looking at some of the other games, colder weather, some wind blowing in. Wind in Cleveland. Very interesting because it's two pitchers that I probably wasn't going to be interested in that I might be in now. Wrigley, cold in the 40s, wind blowing in. We know the Cubs have scored some runs, even with wind blowing in. I'm just not sure that today's going to be that day. Coors, winds blowing out, and then 70s. Hunter Green does have a home run issue, but man, his upside is so nice against the weak Colorado squad. It's a really tough spot to make a decision on, to be honest. But let's jump into this 9-game slate. First matchup here at the top that's very interesting to me because, as I mentioned, the wind blowing in Coors. Luzardo and Ben Brown. The Phillies and Luzardo are minus 112 favorites. Luzardo is plus 145 during the W, while Ben Brown is plus 265. Luzardo's outs prop is 17.5 with juice on the over, while Brown's is 15.5 with juice on the under. So you're looking at, basically 2+ innings of difference between them. Despite that, Ben Brown's K prop's at about 5.5, basically a pick'em. Luzardo's is at 5.5 with juice on the under. So they do expect some more strikeout upside from Ben Brown. Obviously, the only issue, not going as deep. This game has a game total of 7 with juice on the under as well. Luzardo's been really solid. One roughish start against San Francisco. Bounce back, has a couple real strong starts, and a elite start against the Dodgers as well. I think we just have to use him. Don't have the Cubs K numbers against left-handed pitching in front of me. I'll try to bring that up on the other screen. But we'll go to Ben Brown. Did get to 100 pitches his last time out. Did get 6 innings 2 starts ago in a blowout of the Dodgers. It's a guy that's had a lot of talk about him over the last couple of years. Some upside to him for sure. But is he going to be able to consistently do it? I'm not sure. There are a lot of walks here. Walks are going to be a bad thing in this weather just because you shouldn't expect too many home runs. So you should just attack some of the hitters. But I am intrigued enough by Ben Brown because of the weather and because of how cold the Philly offense can get. I think we just have to utilize him. Talking about the Cubs against left-handed pitching. K rate of just about 18% as a team. So not the best K matchup for Luzardo, but weather matchup's nice. And obviously he's a very strong and talented pitcher. So he's certainly in play. I have a feeling people might forget about him a little bit just based on the Cubs offense. With that said, I think I saw him kind of middle of the road on this slate. Less than 12% owned. Ben Brown, 23% projected ownership, which is a lot higher. So if you tell me that I can get Luzardo at half the ownership of Ben Brown, I become even more intrigued, to be honest. Sonny Gray against the Brewers, I think he's fine. He was stronger last year at home, starting out this year with stronger K numbers, just stronger overall numbers at home as well. Coming off of a not-so-great start, but he does have a few pretty strong starts. K upside isn't the greatest. The Brewers can be pretty left-hand heavy. With that said, we expect around 20% ownership of Sonny Gray. Looking at some of his props, the Cardinals are minus 155 favorites. He is plus 150 to earn the W, which appears to be the third best number on this particular slate. Odds prop of 17.5 with juice on the over. K prop of 5.5 with juice on the over as well. That would put him at, I believe, third on this slate in terms of K upside. Maybe tied for second, I guess, with Kikuchi behind Hunter Green. So that's an interesting number to see. It's probably going to bring him into play. I just never really enjoy playing Sonny Gray, to be honest. But he does make sense with those prop numbers at this point. Game total of 7 in this one, so it is the second lowest total on this particular slate. Hunter Green, the big question on this slate. Can he keep the ball in the yard? K numbers better at home. I believe that's been the case for much of his career. But his home run numbers usually better or worse for him at home because he does try for strikeouts more. It's very interesting, obviously. Like we mentioned with the weather, the wind is blowing out. It is 70 degrees. It is Coors Field. So what do we do? Well, when we see 37% on Hunter Green, that makes me kind of have some concern. Just because a chalky pitcher in Coors, like what could go wrong? Hunter Green's obviously one of my favorite pitchers in baseball. I've talked about him for years. I always play him. He's coming off of a horrendous start against Baltimore. But, I mean, he's a minus 198 favorite. He's minus 110 to earn the W, which is easily the best odds of all the starting pitchers on this slate. His K-props of 7.5 with juice on the under. So nearly 2 full Ks better than the next best on this particular slate. There's just a ton of upside because of the matchup. A little shocked that he's topped out at 8 Ks. With that said, he's going to be given a long leash, a lot of innings, a lot of pitches, etc. Just don't love the fly ball tendencies and the home run issues in the past, coming off of a game where he had home run issues. I think I might end up underweight on Hunter Green. Feels gross because we love picking on Colorado, but I just feel like there's more downside than maybe some upside in this spot. Tyler Mahle versus Robbie Ray. Definitely an interesting matchup. It's a ballpark I like taking pitching in. The ballpark plays a little more offensively during the day out there, so it is a little lean more to offense. Game total still at 8 with juice on the under. Mahle's plus 180 to earn the W, while Robbie Ray is plus 210. Mahle's K-prop at 4.5, juice on the over. Odds prop is 16.5 with juice on the over. He's looked absolutely phenomenal. Ks haven't really been there. Obviously, one strong start of Ks. Walks can be an issue. At some point, those walks are going to bite him. Could it happen today? Sure, it could. But the way that he's been throwing, I just think we have to roll with him. Robbie Ray's actually, the Giants are actually minus 135 favorites. But like I mentioned, he's less likely to earn the W than Mahle. A lot of that has to do with the fact that he walks a ton of guys. Just always allowing base runners, racking up pitch count early and often. It really hurts his upside because of that. On the flip side, if we find a start where he walks just one guy again, and he manages to keep the ball in the yard and not give up these 2 home runs, maybe turns in 8 strikeouts to 1 walk, and all of a sudden we get a ceiling-type performance, and it's one of those ones that we wish we had. He's just one of those guys that we need to tread lightly with from an ownership perspective, because he does have such blow-up risk. But being able to go overweight on him is going to be a little tough because it is 15% on his ownership. But if we do go overweight at 20 to 22% roughly, I think we can get enough leverage, and I don't think it's high enough that it would destroy us when he inevitably gets lit up. Wind is always blowing out in San Francisco, but that doesn't seem to matter. So definitely pitchers in this game. They do have some question marks to them. Robbie Ray just can get lit up from a whip standpoint, and then runs happen. And Molly just doesn't offer a ton of strikeout upside, but he's been so good to this point. So I think you got to play them both. Casey Mize, certainly interesting to me. Minus 130 favorite. His props aren't really out there. His K-props 4.5 with juice on the under. We've been able to pick on Baltimore a little bit, but I'm not sure if there's going to be enough upside for Casey Mize in this matchup today. The wind is blowing out in Detroit, but it is cold. I may end up having to pass on Mize, but he's somebody that I wrote down as certainly a possible play. Clay Holmes, obviously he's been pitching great. The Washington lineup, not super dangerous outside of the top few. But the game total is 9.5 with juice on the under. His K-prop is just 4.5, is basically a pick'em. It seems like a low number considering the amount of strikeouts that he's been putting up. He's generally a pretty strong ground ball pitcher. I think he's in play for us on this slate. The fact that he's only projected at 5% ownership is really intriguing to me because we can get overweight at 10 to 12% and just not overexpose ourselves. Pretty windy, some possible weather there, so we do have to pay attention. Kikuchi against the Twins, always a ton of upside. Very similar to Robbie Ray at this point. Home runs and walks could be an issue, but then he could put up some dominant innings. He is plus 155 during the W despite being an underdog. The Twins are minus 130 favorites. K-prop of 5.5 with juice on the over, so like I mentioned, he is tied with Sonny Gray for the second best K-prop on this particular slate. Other pitchers, I do want to consider Tanner Houck just based on how cold it is in Cleveland and with the wind blowing in. I think he's viable. He's coming off of a really strong start, but tail of the tape, 2 extreme starts. One strong one for him and one atrocious one. I wouldn't shock you, or I wouldn't blame you if you were going to pass on him. But the weather and everything kind of line up for him being in play. I think some people are going to talk about Ben Lively on the other side because of the weather. I suppose, but he's just not a K guy. So I'm just not really sure I want to go there, to be honest. People are going to talk about Jeffrey Springs because he's taking on the White Sox. But since his first start, he just hasn't been much of a K guy and walks are up as well. So I'm not sure that I'm going to get to Springs, especially at 8,600. Seems like, obviously, people are going to just automatically plug in based on opponent. Switching over to this 5-gamer quick here for 45 seconds or so. For me, it's definitely Dylan Cease because of his K upside. Framber Valdez because of his potential for, going deeper in the games, even though Kansas City doesn't strike out. And then Luis Castillo because of the matchup. I think Castillo is perfectly fine. Pepio maybe because San Diego's been striking out a little bit more over the last week. It's really those 4 guys for me. You can talk me into a Waka. Maybe Merrill Kelly is a dart throw because Atlanta can strike out. But he can be hit hard as well. So, but there we have it. There's our first look at pitching for the day. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. Get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us to get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.